I got that California, I got that
The Moro arc is arguably the closest Dragon Ball Super has come to resembling the original series, featuring a violent villain with sinister motivation and a sadistic methodology to how he carries those threats. In addition, the Moro arc resurrects long-lost elements of desperation and tension to its storytelling, also bringing back the rest of the cast as we watch them in action, so there is no shortage of awesome cold-blooded moments when it pertains to this arc. Although it isn't confirmed when the anime is coming back exactly, with some decent animation, the Moro arc can be one of the best we have seen so far. Therefore, let's visit this arc and talk about its most amazing moments that we can't wait to see animated. Right off the gate, this is without a doubt the perfect introduction to any anime villain, let alone a Dragon Ball 1. We are taken back to 10 million years prior to the main timeline, as we already see a familiar face in the very first panel. The Grand Supreme Kai, or rather, the Dai Kaioshin appears, already establishing how long ago this was. Now everybody who remembers this character can already tell how strong this guy is. I mean, he did handle the original Majin Buu fairly easily before he got absorbed. So even seeing him struggle tells you on the type of threat we are dealing with. However, the setting of this encounter is what sets it apart from most other fights. The two Kaioshins are being attacked by literal comets, and the source of that? A creature up in space shrouded in mystery as you can barely tell how he looks. He's towering over the gods with comets surrounding him, ready to unleash his wrath. Already this imagery right here gives a level of intrigue that I haven't had since the introduction of Goku Black. The level of intrigue takes a step further when the mysterious villain is revealed wearing a cloak, befitting the dark aura that is surrounded around him. He extends his hands towards a planet that similarly looks like Saturn, and if it's anything like its size, Saturn is a planet that is over 95 times bigger than Earth. Moro, living up to his title, starts to dematerialize the planet effortlessly and then eats it. Like, at this point, blowing up planets isn't anything special. Heck, busting planets is routine at this point, but the execution here is what makes this character stand out as a creature that eats life, and is the perfect antithesis to what gods represent in this case. In fact, there is a line of dialogue that explains to us that Moro is responsible to the extinction of 320 planets, ending countless lives in the process. This leads the Grand Kaioshin surrendering the majority of his power only to contain Moro and sealing his magic. Such hype for one of the coolest Dragon Ball villains ever. Honestly, the entirety of Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 44 is worthy to be on this list. From Vegeta saving the Namekians, indicating the regret for what he has done in the past, to Vegeta going Super Saiyan God and outclassing the old Moro, before Moro take off his clothes revealing his design and his hack's magic abilities. However, in spite of all these tidbits, the thing that stands the most to me is when Goku searches for Moro prior to their encounter. The way Toyotaro panels this gives me goosebumps. Goku tries to search for Moro, but it is Moro who has found Goku. Vegeta tries to do the same and locate Moro, but Goku snaps and urges him not to. Vegeta asks if the power was that significant. Goku says it isn't. Vegeta replies that surely it must be God Ki. Goku says it isn't that either. Then he follows up and says something that I haven't imagined Goku expressing in modern Dragon Ball, describing the power he has felt as terrifying, like it was a whole lot of people screaming in pain. This panel right here is done beautifully by separating the dialogue so we can have a pause of what Goku's concerned face is going to say. This honestly struck me, and I could not help but wonder what kind of soundtrack they're going to incorporate to this scene, because this could easily be one of the most powerful moments in the season. Moro's sinister aura is more evil than any villain we have seen before in Dragon Ball Super. God versus the devil himself. When this chapter first dropped, it was hailed as the highlight of the Moro arc thus far. bringing back an ex-enemy in order to fight the new one. Majin Buu's introduction in this fight isn't random. There is a direct correlation and motivation to this fight. It's not like bringing Frieza back and watching him fight against random people. The relationship between Moro and Buu dates back from millions of years ago, when Moro fought the Great Lords of Lords. Previously, Moro has been defeated when his magic was sealed away, so seeing Buu, who's the vessel of the Daikaishin, angers Moro to no end. He can finally have his revenge against the very person who's responsible for his exile. Of course, the satisfaction part for the viewer comes when Moro realizes he's not dealing with the Daikaishin, but rather the vessel, Majin Buu, who has all of his abilities. And credit to the author Toyotaro, who depicts the madness of Majin Buu so perfectly. It's almost nostalgic, referencing previous moments when Majin Buu was introduced as a villain, inflicting pain and torture to Moro as he did against Majin Vegeta. He also demonstrates the antics we have seen in DBZ. This is honestly the first time we see Majin Buu acting like Majin Buu. This is Toyotaro bringing back DBZ Majin Buu as a villain and making him fight another villain. The Moro arc introduced a plethora of new introduced Dragon Ball Super villains. Among those is Android 73, who looks like a mutated version of Hit, to be honest. However, this character is very unique. He has the ability to copy any person's abilities, able to fight and utilize their attacks in the same effectiveness. This was notably demonstrated when he copied Piccolo's abilities. Add that to his infinite stamina and he proved to be too much for Piccolo. Well, that's until Gohan comes to the rescue. With Vegeta and Goku gone, Gohan is the strongest fighter on Earth. He establishes his dominance by completely outclassing 73. It's honestly been so long since we saw Gohan in action, and this chapter gives him the spotlight he deserves with his impressive performance. This will be one of the better episodes of the Moro arc when animated. Now, while this might not be the most interestingly animated episode in terms of fighting choreography, this manga chapter provides so much growth for Vegeta's character, seeking out help by taking the same steps of his rival Goku by going to Yardrat, where he starts to master a new profound ability that is only unique to him. Vegeta's bond with the inhabitants of Yardrat and him saving them creates a perfect emotional payoff for the time that Vegeta is serving in order to get stronger. As a bonus, Vegeta learns about the progress he made. He battles a character that looks very similar to Zarbon. Vegeta even comments that he has seen creatures like him before. He then proceeds to easily crush his opponent in style. If you thought Gohan getting some shine was long due, then Gohan and Piccolo working together in such great teamwork is even more satisfying for any Dragon Ball fan to witness, demonstrating some creative fighting scenes which highlighted their chemistry as a duo. And speaking of highlight, I cannot wait to see the Masenko and Special Beam Cannon combination, which was dubbed as Demon Flash of Death, firing in such intensity that 73 almost got defeated. I believe Chapter 56 as a whole will be a delight to see in anime form, given the amount of spotlight the other casts are getting. With Goku on the verge of defeat, who else but the Prince of All Saiyans Vegeta once again comes to save his rival in classic Vegeta fashion, showing up in a clutch moment to face off Moro when all hope seems to be lost. While Vegeta doesn't demonstrate the same fighting prowess that Goku could demonstrate in Ultra Instinct Sign, Toyotaro creatively gives Vegeta a new ability: Force Spirit Vision. In such irony, the very ability of consuming life force that Moro has is reversed with Vegeta's abilities. Vegeta basically owns the kryptonite to Moro's magic. What's awesome about this fight is the way Vegeta begins the battle. It seems like he has no chance in Super Saiyan Blue, but slowly with every punch Vegeta's getting the upper hand as Moro loses more and more of his power. Vegeta's action in this scene is so powerful as it reflects his enormous guilt. He atones to his sin by returning the power Moro stole to the Namekians, essentially bringing them back to life. Everything about this fight mirrors Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super. He's a lot more self-aware and humble, and isn't afraid to ask for help even at the expense of his pride. Finally, I think we can appreciate, in spite of the fact that he gained this ability by seeking out help, it's still symbolic that he has gained an ability to separate characters who earned their power by stealing energy or fusion, things that Vegeta always disliked in the past, and this ability heavily mirrors his philosophy in battle. To me, this is one of my personal favorite moments of the entire manga. Not only did Toyotaro manage to introduce a new character in the show with amazing abilities, but he managed to do something I personally struggled with so many new characters, and that's caring about them. Not only were we watching a character who's one of the strongest in the series, but also MEERU'S fighting style is so unique. He does everything with such elegance, something that you don't normally associate with most Dragon Ball characters that brute force their way. Also, MEERU'S displays so many different abilities that it just keeps it fresh and interesting. This fight between Devil and Angel, with the Angel sacrificing himself and telling Goku what the world means to him, is such an impacting moment. MEERU'S fighting with Moro is all about resolve, and his sacrifice offers so much payoff, telling Goku should he master Ultra Instinct in his current level, he will not fall to anyone who stands in his way. Alright, I think most of you who clicked on this video were waiting for me to talk about this moment, cause if you thought Goku vs Jiren broke the internet, then this moment will surely overshadow it. If Toei simply gives life to the breathtaking panels that Toyotaro drew here, we will see what may essentially be the greatest beatdown in Dragon Ball Super history. The satisfaction of seeing Goku achieving the more stable form of Ultra Instinct, and then proceeding to manhandle Moro with such belligerent attitude is so badass in itself. Goku overcomes Moro's hack's magic abilities by overwhelming him with his new complete form. This fight has replicated classic Dragon Ball Z feeling, the payoff of a character achieving a form and seeing this character actually utilizing this new form to absolutely wipe the floor with their enemy. I mean, while this gives you the same feeling of Goku achieving SSJ-1 back on planet Namek, it is also similar to how Gohan achieved Super Saiyan 2 and demonstrated enormous power against Cell. I just appreciate how Dragon Ball Super has finally managed to capture the subtlety of what made Dragon Ball so great. It's these moments where everything can be conveyed with body language. Goku doesn't need an outrageous aura around him or someone telling us how strong he has become. Everything is told by Goku's cold face expression, his fighting style, and the villain going from a calm, collected expression to scared shitless says plenty. And this comes to what stands out the most, like I mentioned. It is the way that Goku fights. It is even described by MEERU'S himself that Goku's fighting like an actual god. So much elegance, everything is subtle yet so impactful with everything he does. This is my own personal highlight in the entire Moro arc. Now before we go to the final moment, I'd like to give some honorable mentions. When all hope seems to be lost and like everyone is going to lose, a huge ball of energy appears. Vegeta and everyone is stunned as to where this energy is coming from. Both the Saiyans can feel that this is divine energy, and then the panel zooms in on a teenage Oob, creating this holy shit moment to the viewer. This was a perfect setup by Toyotaro, who explained in earlier chapters that the divine energy was actually with Kid Buu. This power spurs Goku back to his badass form. Now Toyotaro could have been lazy about this and just had a Dragon Ball movie cliche where Goku simply decides it's time to one-shot the main villain, but no, Toyotaro does none of that. He creatively gives us this insane visual of Goku manifesting his own aura into a giant form of himself, befitting to the god energy that he has just achieved. He uses this new form to assert his dominance one final time before defeating the planet eater Moro, successfully killing what the gods previously couldn't do. The Moro arc was honestly a joy to read through. Although it suffers from a few problems, I think it's overall one of the strongest arcs in Dragon Ball Super, and I simply cannot wait to see it animated. So tell me guys, what did I miss in this list? Was there a moment you really liked? What was your favorite moment? Comment down below. Also, if you enjoyed my commentary regarding the manga, then make sure that you subscribe to the second channel, MoodZi 2. In there, I reviewed the entire Moro arc in addition to the latest chapters that are dropping. I also make some Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh card openings, so please check it out. But most importantly, like I always say, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe.